You guys don't know who I am. My name is Salvador Montalvo, aka Sal Montalvo 24H on social media. I am a business owner first and foremost. Secondly, I am an entrepreneur who loves exploring and testing out new ideas in different markets. I mainly come from the film industry and I've delved into other types of businesses, and right now I'm testing out different things, seeing what works, seeing what I enjoy best and what I'm best at, and also providing value to people, right? With that in mind, that's the business side of things. The personal side, I love personal development, I love fitness, I love all that good stuff. Just to give you guys perspective, some of the influencing forces for me have been Andy Frisella, which is the creator of 75 Hard. He has extreme takes with everything, but to me, it seems like the most logically balanced individual that's successful, appears to be extremely happy, extremely wealthy, and fulfilled ultimately, because it's not about the money, right? And that actually ties into today's video theme. So just to give you guys perspective, I'm in the film industry, right? I have had my own equipment rental house for years and years and years. Recently, the industry has been on a downward trajectory, and it's been more and more prominent to cycle equipment out and aim toward renting out equipment that is lower level, right? Long story short, what I've been doing this year a lot has been sub-renting, aka I have my vendor and I have my client. I'm the middleman in between, and my client requests some gear. If I do not have it in-house, then I rent out from my vendor. Anyways, incredible relationship we've developed over the course of 1 year. And I've put in over $10,000 into their pocket throughout the year. They may not be the biggest rentals, but I'm at their facility renting out gear nearly every damn day. Super long story short, I rented out a piece of gear. Apparently it did not work. My client called me immediately within an hour and a half of receiving the gear, right after having to set up camera, set up lights, set up the scene for whatever project they were filming. Very minimal time for user error. And at the very core of things, a lot of equipment fails, right? Equipment occasionally fails during productions. And when that happens, or when it's happened historically in my company at least, and when I feel that my client does not have any fault in it, I take the L, I chalk it up, and I make it right for my client, especially given if, if there are minimal signs of user tampering or user error, right? Sometimes things just die. Sometimes people just die, right? And as a small business owner, I understand that and I chalk that loss. And this can be translated to anything in life, right? What if you're using your car and you rent it out to your buddy and your car just happens to die? It happens. It's not likely, but it could happen. And in that situation, are you going to charge your friend the full amount of your car? Or are you going to understand that this is a very unfortunate event that sometimes has no real bearing on user consequence? Meaning, things happen, and sometimes you as the owner have to take the loss. To tie all of this in, and this, I'm speaking specifically about the film industry, but this can be translated to anything in your life. This could be you renting out your computer, or letting your brother or your sister or your mom or your dad borrow something. It can literally be translated to anything in your life. I say that to say that is what happened with me. I've put tens of thousands of dollars into my vendors' hands, and the lesson in this is that sometimes things happen. And if you know for a fact, as somebody who owns a piece of equipment or an item, that the person that you rented to or let borrow is extremely reliable, they've never given you any issues, and there's no apparent signs of user damage or error, if you choose to pursue that person willingly and knowing that they had no fault, or the likelihood that their fault was very, very, very minimal, just understand that people will lose respect for you. And I mention all of those examples to tie this all in, right? Yesterday, my client was upset. They put a temporary charge on my credit card and said, hey, look, we are going to reach out to a repair shop and we'll let you know what happens. On my side of things, when I know there was zero user error and your piece of equipment was already damaged, or backtrack, maybe not already damaged, but not working when I received it, or not working when we tried to turn it on, I'm going to look at you a little bit crazy. And they ended up telling me, hey, look, it's your responsibility as the vendor to make sure and test out the equipment to make sure that there's no issue, right? Completely fair, completely fine. However, that's kind of like a scapegoat, a blanket of release of liability. What if I were to rent out your MacBook or whatever else and it looks fine when I pick it up, but then an hour into it, it just dies? Sometimes things happen. Are you going to be mad at me when there's zero signs of my usage? And the unfortunate part is that the gear was not working when we received it. And I let them know immediately after. About an hour and a half after I picked up and I had barely dropped off to my client, that's when we realized, hey, this thing does not work. It really made me feel some type of way. And I responded to them with 5 neutrally balanced things saying, hey, you should update the firmware. Hey, this is a little bit unfair, X, Y, and Z, right? You guys have given me some gear that has failed before as well and all that. However, I thought about it. Even if they do not charge me, the energy behind that was very dismissive and will likely continue to occur if you do not put your foot down, right? I've given this client tens of thousands of dollars, realistically close to 10,000, right? A little bit more over the course of a year. And I may not be their biggest client. I may not be their smallest client, but I guarantee you $10,000 is a lot of money, right? Even if I am doing the smallest rentals, I'm there every damn day. And when you try to be dismissive of the fact that we have built a relationship, we've built a bond, and you try to, per our agreement, you should check every piece of gear. When I'm renting out hundreds of pieces of gear, the logicality, the honesty, the loyalty goes out the window. And like I mentioned, I had sent out that email with 5 neutrally balanced, non-emotional things, and it just did not sit with me. I could not sleep perfectly well, and I was just angry when I woke up. And I realized these guys make my life easier and convenient because they are nearby, because their rates are affordable and I'm able to make a profit on them. But I'm not going to let somebody step all over me given the facts of this entire situation. And I know a lot of people are bullied into a corner or little broed. That's when you have to decide, am I going to keep getting the scraps on end just because my vendor or my person or my mom or my dad or my brother feels like they're bigger than me, or they have more right, or I deserve less? That's where you have to put your foot down. With that angry passion, I sent them an email, and I'm very, very neutrally balanced. I would say maybe I'm too calm, maybe I'm too tame, but today it just came out, and I sent them an email saying how wrong they were, knowing my level of honesty and my level of loyalty to them as a company, considering I've had equipment that I've subrented to my clients, and my clients had that gear stolen, and I had to come out of pocket around $3,000 so I can make my vendor be good and clear my name. That's how much of a loyalty guy I am. I make things right because that's one of my values. I don't believe in lying. And when you show that track record of always making sure your record is clean, even if you have to take the loss, that's the type of person I am. I made sure my vendor was fulfilled, and I had to hold that L, that $3,000 loss, until my client paid me. That's the type of person I am, right? I'm an honest and loyal guy. I'm the type of person that will take care of you, that will go out of his way to take care of you, if I feel you're the type of person that deserves that. So that's my relationship historically. And who knows, with this repair for their item, probably $200, $300. It's not even about the money. Like we said at the very beginning, some things can't be bought. And when things aren't right, they are not right. And even though they make my life easier, even though I make money with them, even though it makes my life so much more convenient, and I'm able to fulfill more clients because of them, it's not right when somebody's taking advantage of you. And I told them, right now, I don't really feel appreciated, and I don't know who exactly is emailing me from your company. And it seems like you guys are being dismissive of my entire track record and history with you guys. And I don't appreciate it. Because right now, you guys are showing that you are not valuing me. And I'm willing to forego all of those conveniences and being able to make money through you guys if this is how I'm going to be treated. Because I know what I deserve, and I know my level of quality as a person, and I know my level of quality as a business owner, and this is not it. So even though they've made me a lot of money, even though I've put a lot of money into their hands, I'm willing to cut ties, to cut the cancer, if things are not done right. And that's how it is in life. Sometimes you have to make that hard decision. Sometimes you have to cut that tie with that best friend because they have disrespected you, and you know that their reaction is not an honest or a deserving reaction. Just last year, I cut off a relationship with somebody who was one of my best friends for over 10 years. I met him in high school. I'm 31 now. I cut him off just because of the level of disrespect with how he was texting me. He texted me something really outrageous, and that's fine. Me and him talk smack, right? But when you talk smack and you are annoying about it, and you make sure to be annoying and send the same message on multiple things, on a text message and on Instagram and on, you're doing way too much. You have to operate with class and style, even if you're joking. So sometimes you have to make those tough decisions. Sometimes you have to cut those people off. And as you guys may have deduced from my type of content, from my level of speaking, from my all these things, right? Andy Frisella, business, all that, I'm sure you guys can figure out that I also consume Alex Hormozi's content. Alex has been known to have extreme views, especially in relation to relationships and cutting people off. And one of the things I learned is no one is safe when they don't deserve it. And throughout his adult life, he had this level of growth, and he decided to stop visiting his family during the holidays because he had grown so much in that time frame that he decided to be away. And that every time that he would visit family, his aunt, his uncle, family, oh, Alex, just take a drink. This is not who you are. Alex, you're the angry alcoholic. You're this person. When he had already done so much development to be a different person, be someone that was worth being, not an angry alcoholic, but those people try to bring you back down to what they knew you as. And sometimes you grow. Sometimes you have to cut people off. And sometimes it sucks, but you have to make the tough decision. Do you want to be who you were meant to be, or do you want to be the person that everybody wants you to be? You have to decide who you want to be. Do you want to be somebody that's respected and treated well because you deserve it? Or are you just going to be walked all over on? I told my vendor this morning, right now you guys are treating me like a fucking number. I don't even know who I'm talking to. And you motherfuckers are telling me, per our agreement, you as a person of picking up should always. No, I fucking live here pretty much. I pick up equipment every fucking day. I pick up hundreds of equipment, and you guys are trying to be dismissive, like nothing matters. That's how you lose business relationships. Business 101. Treat the people who do you well, treat them well. And you have to make that decision. What's worth more for you? Making a little bit of money, making your life a little bit easier, and letting go of your values and morals? So you have to make that tough decision. Are you going to put up with the BS that people try to put you through just because they're dismissive of what you bring to the table, knowing damn well what you bring to the table is actually quite significant? Are you going to cut them off because you should, or are you going to tolerate mediocrity? With that in mind, my name again is Sal Montalvo. I appreciate you guys for listening. If you guys want to find me on Instagram, that is Sal Montalvo, 24H for 24 hours. I'm always that guy. And you guys know you can count on me. If you guys have dealt with some fucking goddamn bullshit like this, drop a fucking comment and subscribe. I only want somebody that's real around me. I want real energy. And I would rather hear the brutal truth than for somebody to sugarcoat the things and act like it's not happening. So if that's you, drop a comment, drop a like, send a subscribe. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Bam. Oh yeah. What you do determines who you are. Everything that you do. The smallest things determine who you are. And here's the thing. Tough calls build resilience. They teach you about self-respect. They teach you about discipline. They teach you about adaptability and integrity. Who are you when people are not clapping? Who are you when nobody else is seeing? That you steal behind people's back when no one is looking? Or are you the same man or the same woman that you present yourself to be in front of others? Only you can decide that. No one else. Are you honorable, full of integrity, full of morals and values? So, you guys let me know.